أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الصلاة والسلام على رسولنا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه وأتباعه وسلم. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. Inshallah, we are starting a new surah, 25th in Revelation order, 97th in Musaf order, Surah Al-Qadr. It's a short surah with 5 verses. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Inna anzalnahu fi laylatil qadr. We have indeed revealed this in the night of Qadr. وَمَا أَدْرَاكَ مَا لَيْلَةُ الْقَدْرِ. And what do you know, or how would you know what the night of Qadr is? Laylatul Qadri khayrun min alfi shahr. The night of Qadr is better than 1,000 months. تنزل الملائكة والروح فيها بإذن ربهم من كل أمر. The angels and the spirit descends therein by the permission of their Lord with all decrees. سلام هي حتى مطلع الفجر. Peace until the rising of the dawn. This is the chapter, and so it is mostly people agree that it's revealed in Mecca. Again, still we are in the earlier revelation period. So let's start with these short 5 verses. A few questions that I have here. Maybe before I put all the questions. So, Inna anzalnahu fi laylatil qadr. We have indeed revealed this in the night of Qadr. So, Qadr is either translated as power or measure or predestination. Like these are the 3 words that could be potentially a translation for Qadr. But of course, we will need to understand what Laylatul Qadr is. And as the following verse number 2 is going to say, what do you know about it? As if saying that I'm going to tell you what it is. But let's go step by step. Inna anzalnahu fi laylatil qadr. Indeed, we have revealed this. So here, anzalnahu, the adjective, is it an adjective or adverb? Adjective is
Which one?
who, he, it. Is it
the
pronoun?
pronoun? Yes.
Okay, pronoun.
Adverb.
Adverb?
No.
Pronoun.
Yes.
It's a pronoun. Okay. Okay. So indeed, we revealed it or sent it down. So what is it here? It did not specify it, but left it as it. So what is it? Commentators commonly say that this refers to Quran. But why is it left vague then? Inna anzalna al-Qur'ana fi laylatil qadr could very well have been said. So why is it being left vague in here? Sometimes Quran leaves open-ended, like sentences open-ended, or leaves it knowingly vague. What do you think might be the purpose of leaving vagueness in such cases? Yeah.
So the reader can think about what it might refer to.
So there's going to be it's going to be an attention grabber. So pause here and think about it. What else could be there? It's one of the things, yeah. Pause and pay attention, because if I say, yeah, he came, we would say, well, who came? So it's going to attract your attention, which might also indicate that I am being not as attentive. So I am being invited to attention with that. That's good. What else could be there?
Because it's undefined or it's not specified, it can possibly mean a lot of things.
Yes, not specifying it could opens up many more meanings for every individual. Like it could be Quran, but when we say Quran, again, what would one understand? Would it be the divine speech? Even we have been discussing what divine speech is for the past couple of weeks in our Friday discussions. When I say Quran, what comes to mind? If the book comes to mind, that book as it is, walaikum assalam, the book was not coming down. Like if we are referring to Quran in here, Quran was revealed in 23 years. So, I mean, scholars come up with different explanations, interpretations. What does it mean that Quran is revealed in a single night? Although we know that historically it was revealed in 23 years. But even when this has to be the case, when I say Quran, what comes to mind is if it is this 600-page book, we know that as a book, it was not compiled as a book on a paper after years later. So, as Atik was saying, another way to take this is you can also apply this to different meanings. Personally speaking, it could be different meanings as it applies to you, individual. Okay. What does sent down mean? Because this anzalna, revealed, but the word itself has the connotation of sent down. What does sent down indicate to you? Just the word itself.
Coming down.
Coming down.
So
coming from
came from the creator to the creations, from Allah to
coming from somewhere high to coming from somewhere low.
Yeah.
So what would that indicate about the nature of what is coming down? It's a speech that is being spoken to my level from someone who is higher than my level. Like, for example, when we are going to talk to Bushra here, what would you do? You will start speaking like a toddler could understand. So it's going to be a descending. You will descend to the level of a toddler and communicate as such. You will sometimes even you round the words or the R letters if she's not able to, if you would like to make a bond or make it more relatable to the child, or give examples from Peppa Pig and whatnot, so that it's going to be more understandable for her. So she's not watching Peppa Pig? Okay. So she is watching halal stuff. Okay. So Peppa Donkey. Okay. So then there is a descending is being mentioned in here. So this, when I get to listen to revelation, if I take it as revelation, as famously being done, how do I approach a revelation then becomes important. It is a descending to my level. This is an important part of our Friday's conversation for the last week. How do you expect your creator to talk to you? In a way that you can understand, in a language that you can talk, potentially can talk. So this is why indeed we have sent it down. So Quran in the previous chapter, right before this one, was talking about how Quran is high. So Quran is elevated, coming from high in the sense of from above this material existence, from beyond this material existence, and coming down to my world, which also gives a tendency to, like, if something is coming from high down here, what would you have as a immediate feeling? Can I go there too? If something is coming down, then maybe I can go up too. Like if there's this up-down thing is happening, and if I am being located here, then I would raise my head and at least look up. This is how people wanted to get to moon. Like you see light is coming from moon and you're saying that, oh, we would like to get to there. I am seeing sun. So revelation is coming from high, metaphorically speaking in this case, from beyond this existence. And immediately I'm raising my head towards where the message is coming from. That is something beyond this existence, and I would like to get to there. Okay. But it's a night. It is revealed at a night, or it is sent down at a night. Why is it a night? And which night is it? According to which time zone? Like since we are talking about Laylatul Qadr. Laylatul Qadr according to, like, is it the time zone night for Tokyo, or New York, or Mecca? Like if it is for the Tokyo's time zone, then it's going to be morning in here. So because day and night is really being defined in terms of, if you think about it this way, which side of the earth is not facing towards sun. But when it's night for one side, it's not the night for the other side. So if it is revealed at night for someone, then it's revealed at the daytime for somewhere else. So what does this mean? How am I going to take that? Again, if you read this as, oh, the first time Quran was revealed at a night, then am I going to take Mecca as a reference point? Or, as we have been trying to do in these discussions, the speaker is talking to me even today, in the morning. How can I listen to this? What am I supposed to take out of that? Okay. And why is it a specific night? Because if we also go into prophetic teaching, Prophet says, seek Laylatul Qadr in the last 10 nights of Ramadan. Prophet didn't specify it either, said that last 10 nights. And he said, well, look for it in the odd nights, especially the 27th night. But it was again left vague. Why is it being left vague? Open to discussion. What do you think? Yes.
If it was just one night, maybe you'll just do the worshipping and stuff on that night. Since it's left away, you have to seek it out. And the purpose is that you seek it out every night and not just that night.
So seeking in there is, it looks like searching for it is a means to find it. So without searching, you wouldn't find it. Search for it. Like, what's your probability of, like, it's not a matter of probability, I feel like. It's not like, oh, with 1/10 probability, I'm going to hit it anyway. So let me gamble and I will only worship one night at Ramadan. Well, 10% probability I will hit it. If not, well, better than, I guess, playing a jackpot or something, like those gambling things here. So it's, I mean, higher probability. Is it like that? Or as much as I search, I find. So there's this invitation for searching for it. But why in Ramadan though? What is special about Ramadan, the last 10 nights, or even to the later portion of Ramadan? How is it related to Ramadan and fasting?
So because you've already gone a certain number of days to kind of, train yourself to maybe witness, perceive existence in a certain way, or, witness or be more conscious about your relationship with your creator. And so then at the very end of it, once you've already had, say, 20 days of practicing this, maybe you're now more ready to seek the benefits of Laylatul Qadr.
Very good. So Ramadan is a preparation period. For what? What are we getting prepared for in Ramadan? To lose weight or what? eat good food. Serena had something there.
I guess the purpose of Ramadan is with to attain taqwa, like the purpose of fasting is to like develop this God consciousness.
God consciousness.
Um, And so like fasting for a specific amount of time sort of teaches us that we're following like an order and that for a certain command that we have to like eat in this period of time and then break the fast and at another time. And so kind of teaching us that, you know, everything we've been doing, like even outside the period of Ramadan, has been under sort of this overarching control. And I guess the last 10 nights, something I wanted to add, maybe like for me personally, it's when I'm like getting tired, like I'm kind of reaching sort of like the limits, but then when you hear that there is this special night or there's this importance to the last 10 nights, it like helps you, I think, like push through maybe. Like for example, if you're running a race and you can see the finish line, like we'll always tell you to like save that last verse to like cross the directly.
Yeah, the runners.
But yeah, so something like that. I think it also teaches us like that sometimes like we don't know when for us when the end is going to be. So again, like relating to like this being a constant like search, I guess.
Actually, it was a nice point that you mentioned, attaining God consciousness. So this is the point of Ramadan. What is God consciousness? Or if I do not attain, if I do not become conscious of God, what is it that I'm becoming conscious of? Self. I'm getting lost in the self, in myself, in my desires, in my ambitions. I'm trying to reach this goal. I mean, buy this, do that with the kids, or fix my house. Now that is going to be Birkan's problem for the next 5 years. So publish this paper, collect this data, and whatnot. So as I am more occupied with all these problems, how much do I remember about provider of the rain? Like as we were moving Birkan's house Sunday, it was, alhamdulillah, we were able to do the moving 10 minutes before the rain. But we hired some people to help us with the moving and whatnot. But to the end of their work, they started grumbling, saying that, oh, this is not easy job. This is a harder job. You need to pay us more. And eventually we can pay him more. But then as it started raining, I said, like, it was a simple job for 2 hours. And the person was saying that, oh, you are not paying me my due, and I want more. Just for 2 hours of service of taking things from here to here to there. Right? Then it was very heavily pouring. I said, now look at all this rain that is being sent down. What did I pay back for this level of service? Like that much water coming for me, coming for everything. What do I pay back? Or do I even need to pay back? Because as we were receiving the service from these people, I mean, I feel under some sort of obligation to pay them back for sure. And I'm also entertaining the idea of, well, did we offer them the right price? Was it more? Was it less? Now I am receiving the service of this heavy rain for everybody. What am I going to pay back? How am I going to respond back? So this is start of taking the zoom from myself, because when I am the recipient one, I chase for it for sure. I say, oh, Mustafa, you have to pay me. But now I am receiving. how am I going to pay back? So becoming conscious of the giver. Fasting is a good time for that, because by fasting, I take things for granted for so much. Water is always there. Food is always there. Whenever I would like to reach, I reach it and do it. I have money in my pocket. Food truck is there. I go and pay it, eat it. How frequently do I remember that I need to thank to the one who gives me this food? Because I thank the guy who delivers me the food, like the food truck person. After you take it, you say thank you. But that person is, I thank that person for their labor, but they didn't create the food itself. They just delivered the food to me. They didn't create the food. The taste is not created by them. Anything, the ingredients, the power to chop the food or anything, none of them is created by them. They just put some effort to do the labor, sort of, in terms of their intention. And I thank them for this labor. How about being provided with the food? I do not question this because it's always there. By intentionally avoiding food by command, because the owner of the food says, who is also owner of me, says you're not going to eat the food, it's an invitation for me to become more vigilant, more cognizant. So start becoming conscious of my provider, of my sustainer. But this is a good time. So taqwa is this consciousness. So fasting is a very useful means to attain this consciousness, because I am awakening from slumber of my heedlessness. And Quran is the month of Quran at the same time. So Ramadan is the month of Quran at the same time. So fasting is put in there as a tool so that a proper environment is being prepared. It is more so like at Penn, for instance, a week before the final exams, there's no classes for 1 week. Midterms and finals both, I guess, reading days. Is it only for the finals or both? So they are separating a time frame in which saying that, well, let's put even the classes aside. We would like you to have a dedicated time for preparation. So that you're not worried about learning anything new at this moment. Just practice what you have learned, revise it. Ramadan is a time in which my Creator says, I would like you to put aside your routine worries, plus become cognizant of what you have been given. This is going to prepare you for receiving the message. Message is being sent down to you, but are you ready to receive it? Ramadan is, in this case, preparing me to become open to receive the revelation. Revelation could be there. Revelation could come down to the planet, to the people. But maybe it's not going to come to me because I'm not ready. I might be sitting in the same room with the Mus'haf, the book of Quran, but in my world, I am preoccupied with everything else but revelation. So Quran being revealed to the room or to another person in the same room with me doesn't mean that it gets revealed to me, because I am not there. I am not ready for it. So that's why Ramadan had been this time in which, for the 30 days, even if you think about Shuhur Thalatha, like the 3 months, the preparation starts from there. My Creator says, boot camp started. So start building up your consciousness. As we come to last 10 nights, it's now the reading days. No other measure. Even we are encouraged to go to i'tikaf. Like even you are encouraged to postpone your daily activities. For the rest of the time, we don't. But even in the last 10 nights, we're invited to stay in the masjid to specifically focus on. Because this is really the time to harvest what we have been focusing on for the past month or 3 months. At this moment, revelation will start coming to me. And as we will see, it's going to say that Laylatul Qadr is going to be better than 1,000 nights, 1,000 months. It could be that this single night is going to be as valuable and as beautiful for you as a lifetime. And we will get there. But why is it a night?
A lot happens during that time. Right? If you break your fast, you really down, there's probably even there's more prayer for the past days. So like there's more happening. You're up more during the night than you would usually be. So your life is kind of, if you've lived your life the other way around before, where you wake up and go to work and you kind of think about maybe religion second. Now it's the opposite. Like you have to schedule around the prayers, and so I think there's a lot.
Good. What else?
I was actually thinking of, or I was reminded of Surah Muzammil and how it talks about how it encourages us to recite the Quran like in some part of the night. And I guess one thing I was thinking about is that like, you know, during the day, like we're preoccupied with all these other things. And I think like, for example, for me, when I go to work or something, I'm mostly thinking of myself as like, oh, I'm doing this work so I can like earn a living. It's like kind of centered around me. But as like the night approaches, that's like an opportunity to sort of remove myself from like the distractions of the day, and maybe like doing the same thing that like Ramadan kind of helps us to do, to sort of like leave aside sort of this stuff we are distracted by and focus our attention on the Creator. So that was like one thing I was thinking about in terms of like why night has a specific time.
These are very beautiful meanings. And let's extrapolate what you just said at the very end. There are things that occupies us in the light of today, like work and this and that. Also in our lives, there are enlightened times where success is there, I'm earning money, things are going well. And I worry about more things, more worldly things in such cases. If I'm successful, then I look for what next? I should do more. At this moment, imagine that you receive a call, because recently I observed such a case, like a very successful person, very successful scientist. And casually, I asked, how is your daughter doing? And he said, well, some issues in her brain. And that person, that daughter, was just going to start PhD within a month. Like even the daughter is a very successful person. Everything was going lined up and nice in her life. Father is a very successful person. And then that person, the father that I talked to, was absent last week. He said, well, I had to be near my daughter so that she got MR and like whether it is MS or whatever sort of a disease, we are just trying to figure out. So all the glory of success and everything collapses and gets darkened at this moment of life. You forget about everything. The papers you need to publish, the promotion that you're going to get, even it's not his own life, but his daughter may be more valuable than his own life. Everything is dark at this moment. He said, well, last few days was really so unpleasant. It is unpleasant. So such moments of darkness come to us, which makes us just get rid of all those daily worries. Those worries are not worries for me anymore. I am now focusing on this darkness and how to resolve the darkness, the problem itself. And in our lives, there are many such dark moments. It might be, most of the time, it's being emotional or psychological, like a friend, or you love someone, or you hate someone. Very strong emotions are being at play, and it's not being matched. And you're struggling with yourself. If we take it in this more generalized version of it, these are the moments actually we are being invited for more God consciousness. Because I was like in heedlessness in the daylight. And in the night, you are realizing that you're by yourself. Even in the darkness of, let's say, in the case of daughter being sick and you do not even know what sort of disease it is. I mean, clearly a neurological disease, but you don't know what type of disease it is and whether it's curable, not curable, is it the early stage, later stage. You're feeling very helpless. You're feeling by yourself. And this is a moment where you are starting to become or invited to be God conscious. Yeah.
Maybe I'm thinking about the other day I was hoping to finish something at home. And some other stuff happened, so I had to postpone it. And it is the nighttime, so I'm thinking about doing it. But I'm tired. Just, as Quran says, we created the daytime for you to work and then the nighttime to rest. So my body, follows these orders and doesn't let me do what I want to do. But there's something I want to, achieve, but I realize my weakness. And I don't have power. Even if I, assuming that I have the will, it doesn't come with the power. And then you realize, as one translation says, the night of power. Then you realize that the power doesn't belong to me. It's like powerful one is not me. So the night of power reminded you the power.
Yeah, where the power comes from, because you realize your powerlessness at this moment and your need for power as well. So it's becoming an invitation to recognize where the power is from. Yes, and Al-Qadr. Now comes the question. This was the next question, but Birkan answered before we asked the question. Why is it called the power, the night of power, which Birkan answered the power part of it? How about the night of measure or the night of predestination? Qadr could mean multiple things. So why is this night being named as such? In the light of what we have been discussing about what a night means. And again, to reiterate what we have been talking since we have been talking about multiple things. But we are not, it looks like we are not really looking for a time limit or it starts like as it happens in Mission Impossible, set the clocks, it starts 3 hours and then we have to be here. It's not like this 3-hour time frame for anybody on the entire planet. It could even be that, well, it is, let's say, 6th of December this year. Laylatul Qadr was 6th of December or whatever, like for the entire planet, it is the same day. When it is your time zone comes night, your Laylatul Qadr is going to be that time. But in terms of calendar, this day. Maybe not exactly that. It could be, one meaning of it could be that, but let's expand it. Laylatul Qadr, for you in that Ramadan, would be a different day, calendar day, than what it is to me. Because Laylatul Qadr becomes Laylatul Qadr, and it might be Laylatul Qadr to you, but I am sleeping there. It's not being a Laylatul Qadr to me, definitely. Like, it's not like you have been worshipped as if you worship 1,000 nights, but I slept as if I slept for 1,000 nights. So, like, for me, it was 0 anyways. For person who is vigilant, Laylatul Qadr is going to be defined as a night which is better than 1,000 nights. So you could say that, oh, today I get something and it was worth a lifetime's experience. Like, I have lived something or I understood something and I have never been understanding anything like that. Maybe sometimes it happens that you, let's say, attend a sheikh's talk or something, and you get super duper enlightened. You get very excited when you leave the meeting and you say that, I've never listened to anything like this 45 minutes, this 1 hour. It was worth my past 5 years of education. This 1 hour was worth it. So this 1 hour is like 1,000 months. Laylatul Qadr is a time, a night, where you will be recognizing a lifetime's conclusion. If you seek for it. If you are trying to, if I am trying to make my life purposeful, fruitful, if I recognize darknesses in my life, things that I am not able to figure out, it could even be, as a student was saying, he said, there's void in my life. I feel void. And I'm trying to just fill it up with different things, sometimes by scrolling Instagram is an attempt to fill the void, or success at work, or, well, this work I didn't like, I tried it for 2 years. Maybe it's because this job was really not good. Let me change, make a career change, try something else. I should get into engineering is not so good. Let me go to social sciences and do another PhD in social sciences. Like all different sorts of things we see. Trying to fill this void. But let me first admit, the void is there. This is my darkness. How do I solve this? Where is it coming from? So Laylatul Qadr is going to be the moment. If I can solve this problem of my life, then my life becomes purposeful. Because let's see, if you think that, if I think that, let's say, oh, if I get this degree, let's say Mustafa is working on getting into like passing USMLE, getting into residency and whatnot. Definitely pursuing something to achieve. There's an expectation of some sort of satisfaction eventually. Otherwise, you wouldn't do it. Like you wouldn't do your PhD if you are not expecting some sort of satisfaction at the end. Same for everybody here. Right? So, but when you achieve it, you will not get satisfied either. You also know that. Because in the past, you have achieved many satisfactions. Has any one of them satisfied you? If it did, you would stop. You don't. You ask for more. And it's never even at the level of satisfaction that you imagine. Maybe for one day. When you're throwing the cap and whatnot, you pretend as if you're super happy. But even there, it ends there. It doesn't carry over. It's a huge problem, actually, in my life, if I take it serious. This is a huge darkness in my life. Where am I going to? What's my purpose? As I recognize this night, then I am starting to get ready for revelation. Because revelation comes at that night. Revelation wouldn't come to you in your daytime, in your regular time where you are preoccupied with other stuff. Because even if it comes, you are very occupied with other stuff anyways. It's coming to you at a time where you are at a tranquility, you're alone, and you're ready to listen. This is why I need to seek in my life this silence, this readiness, and face this darkness in my life. I should not pretend as if, oh yeah, I'm a believer. There's no darkness in my life. To Quran to come to me, there must be some sort of darkness somewhere. Just face it, facing it. And then, yes, right.
It was about that pastor.
Okay. So Quran has this type of phrases. وَمَا أَدْرَاكَ مَا. How do you know? Ma Laylatul Qadr. What Laylatul Qadr is. Because the introduction was saying that indeed we have revealed it in Laylatul Qadr. And now the second verse is saying that, what do you know about it? How would you know about it? And generally this phrase is to encourage me, not to mock me, saying that, ha ha ha, you would know nothing about it. But it rather is, whatever you know about it, let me tell you what it is. Like, I will explain it to you, what it is. So learn it from me. Do not learn it from elsewhere. I will explain it. And when Quran mentions such stuff, going with dictionary definitions doesn't help too much. As if Quran is saying that I am going to build up this concept for you. Get your answer from the way Quran presents it, rather than going and checking the dictionary what qadr means. I mean, we can ask the question, how does the dictionary meaning of the word qadr relates to this meaning? But do not go the other way around and say that, it's a night, and then, and it's power night, so trying to speculate about it, but rather the way I will present it to you, this will define what Laylatul Qadr is. Rather than any other comment.
So about that part, like as you said, we usually start with assuming we know what things are. So here we're talking about a specific night, Laylatul Qadr. But as you mentioned, the specificity does not come from the fact that it is a specific day in a calendar. This is usually how we take it. But from Quranic perspective, it's not a day in a calendar. That's not the reason that it is specific. It's a specific day because only within these nights, you as the recipient receive something. That's where specificity coming from. But anyway, even when we don't take it as a very specific night, but just the night itself, when Quran says what you would know about night of power, and then let me explain to you. So it sounds a little bit, I don't know, unnecessary, let's say, because we all know what night is, right? It's a part of a cycle. The sun goes down, our body, starts reacting in a certain way, certain chemicals are revealed, and so on and so forth. We take things, we read this life literally, meaning we see some things and we name them and we say, okay, this is the definition and there's nothing beyond that. The fact that Quran says not only about the Laylatul Qadr, but many other places as well, what you would know. Let me explain to you. It's like a call, and I believe we can generalize this to everything else as well in our life. Not only this specific word, but read it as the Quran saying that, what would you know what a child is? What would you know a title or profession is? And then try to learn it from a Quranic perspective. Again, for us, night is just part of I don't know, some geographic, whatever it's called, cycle, or biological cycle, and so on and so forth. Quran says no. The night signifies something in your life. It's a symbol. It symbolizes everything in your life. When we look at it from this perspective, everything in our lives, children, profession, socks, the cloud, buildings, friends, they all symbolize something. To the extent we take them as the symbols that refer to some further meaning, now we are following the message they bring. And such ayahs then make sense, saying that what would you know about a child? You would just name it. You would say it's a product of a reproduction, whatever, genes and so on and so forth, and learn nothing. Let me teach you what it symbolizes in your life, and then you will end up with the actual meaning of things. Such a powerful question. What would you know? Well, we all know what night is.
Actually, this reminded me of a friend's son, like he's 5-6 years old. And he was super knowledgeable about dinosaur names. When I see it, I say, well, I mean, so what? Like, oh, this is a triceratops or something. Like he gives those names, right? To him, it's very knowledgeableness. Like the child is doing something, like by knowing those names. And I say, well, okay, I mean, okay, Triceratops, but so what? So I guess knowing those names by themselves, it looks childish, but in my life, there are different names that I keep saying or showing off with. And think it as if it is attaining this is, oh yeah, now I know, or I am what was the word? Self-sufficient. This was what we were studying in the previous chapter. The person was saying that I don't need revelation, I am self-sufficient. But the other blind person, for him, it's always night. There's no light in his life, was asking for coming to the Prophet and saying that, tell me about revelation. So now we are at the next surah, right after Abasa, in Revelation order. I am being called into my darkness, my night, when my light is away, and saying that this is the time that revelation will come to you too. If you feel like, oh, I have lights in my world, I don't need the light of revelation, this is pretty much like the person in Surah Abasa saying that I am sufficient, I have lights. In my darkness, recognizing my darkness and the need for light, this is the time that I am ready to receive revelation. Because if I don't need revelation, if I do not realize the need for revelation, even if somebody comes with the revelation, it's not going to be a light for me. Because I'm not listening to it. I'm not ready for it.
About the revelation, there's another mode of ignorance that we usually have. Is that, like, as you said, sometimes we say we don't need revelation. And in other, maybe majority of the times, we say there's no such thing as things being revealed to us, or there's no revelation for us. The Prophet received the revelation, it is done, right? There's no revelation anymore. In one sense, it is true. Like if we take revelation as, the angel Jibril talking to Prophet and so on and so forth, it's done. It's done deal. Not for us, maybe. But in another sense, like Quran is talking to us, it means we still need every moment of our lives. We still need somebody to reveal us the meaning of things, purpose of things. Why these things happening in my life? Why she's sometimes happy, why she's not sometimes, why she's sometimes angry, compliant, not compliant, and so on and so forth. Why? What is the point? What does it mean? How it happens, and so on and so forth. I need someone to reveal to me. So I need the revelation. And Quran says, yet you do receive revelation. If you open your heart, or if you open your ears, in your dark moments, in your night time, when you feel the power, when you feel the measure, that everything is being created with a measure. So her anger for not listening to me was not a glitch in the software. Right? It was part of the measure. When I realize this, things will start being revealed to me. How? The next ayahs will explain it, right? But we do still need revelation, and we do constantly receive revelation. Maybe in a narrow sense, but we do.
What do you think? What do you think about Quran being revealed to you? Does this sound acceptable, understandable, or no? What do you think? Any comments? At least I guess we should ask the question, has Quran revealed to me, or what portion of Quran has been revealed to me so far? What extent Quran is revealed to me so far? And it looks like this is going to be relatable to the extent that I recognize my darkness, nights of my lifetime. Because at the night, I'm going to find peace, actually. At the end of the surah, it comes, Salamun hiya hatta matla'il fajr. the nighttime, which is going to be more so of an insecure time because there's no light. You would like to turn the switches on. But that darkness is going to become source of my peace. Because at that night, I'm going to find the light. I'm going to find the revelation, the guidance. This also paints life in a beautiful way, as Brother Birkan was mentioning. The things that I see as troubles are now could be taken as or being painted as sources of my peace. Because with a measure, the Creator gave this darkness to me so that I realize something. This trouble that I'm going through in life, they didn't give me the promotion that I think I truly deserved. There's a measure in there. Where is the measure in there? I need to ask that question. Rather than starting, if I take it as a message coming down, rather than a fellow human being wronging me. Because a fellow human being will throw a stone to you from the same distance. Stones are being thrown like horizontally. But now the revelation is coming from high down to me. If I take the same event as, oh, this guy, this professor over there, he is preventing or he's blocking my promotion. I can look at the same event and say that, no, my Creator is not giving this to me. This is a message from high. It's not a message from that professor. Yeah, that professor, that person, that fellow, that boss has some purpose according to themselves. But the measurer, the one who creates with a measure, with a destination, has a message for me. The guy doesn't have it. The guy's message is, I hate you. That's all he says. But what does my Maker say me here? I should listen to him so that the revelation starts coming to me. Otherwise, it's not going to reveal anything to me other than it's a clear message. Somebody hates you. Okay, that's it. And you cannot do anything about that anyways, right? You cannot.
Get it? Understand?
Well, yes, I think I do. So, we talked about Laylatul Qadr khayrun min alfi shahr. So the night of Qadr is better than 1,000 months. What does it indicate? That there exists a night that is potentially better than a lifetime? Very briefly to reiterate, there happens a moment that your Creator invites you to, which will just turn the switch on in your life. It's going to be a moment, but you will understand many things that you couldn't give any meaning to in your life. It's going to, you will say that, I mean, this is sometimes how I feel about it. I feel like, as it happens in movies, like especially good movies, in the last minute, in the last scene, they turn the whole movie upside down. And then you say, oh, this last scene really was worth it. Maybe you were just watching and, no, I mean, where's this movie going to? And in the last moment, everything gets cleared up. You say, wow. Sometimes I feel like this when it comes to my life. I say that Creator is making me go through a life and different scenes here and there. And as I collect later in life, pieces are starting to come together. And at the end of my life, when the purpose of this movie is complete, he would say, okay, now I'm taking you out of the movie. You are done. This movie is recorded. The purpose is established. So a moment in that movie when you say that, oh, now it makes sense why I have been living this life for 40 years. Like a moment of realization. Oh, and as you know, I keep giving this example. There's a personality type that the Creator brings up in my life. Always I clash with them, and I cannot still get the meaning why my Creator is making me somehow cross my roads with this personality type. It became so much so that I can notice them very rapidly now. Just seeing the face, I say, oh, this is that type. I change my road. I am trying not to get into any sort of a, because I know that it's not going well. Bypass the experience of 3-4 people. But most of the time it's me having issues with them, not everybody else, which means there's something in me. And my creator says, just come on. I mean, 4 times, still not understanding it. Because I resist understanding it. Because when it comes to myself, I can be very critical about Birkan. As an outside person, I can say, oh, you're doing this wrong. But when it comes to myself, I'm being very soft. I'm saying, well, but actually you have a point there. I mean, okay, he's wrong. You might be wrong, but not so much. Like I'm becoming so soft and trying not to hurt myself. So accepting, admitting my fault and seeing the message behind it, I would say, oh, this is why my creator has been making me go through this very hard relationships with this personality type, for example. So it's worth a lifetime. It's a night, but I keep avoiding such darknesses, such nights actually. The creator keeps bringing this night on me, ready to deliver a message to me on this night, but I escape from it. I'm not willing to take this 1,000 months or a lifetime's lesson from this and miss the opportunity again. Creator creates a different occasion in the next year or the year after, but I think this is what I'm taking from here. I should be seeking for such moments in life. What does my creator tell me with this? Because if I get the answer, it's going to be worth living a lifetime. We are going quick. Shall we finish or finish here? I don't know if it's going to make another discussion next week.
You will probably feel so bad next week that you finished it in 1 week.
Does it?
So yeah, but let's try it.
Because we still have 3 minutes.
Yeah.
So تنزل الملائكة والروح فيها بإذن ربهم. So the angels and the spirit comes down at that night. What does it mean that angels are coming down? What does it mean that the spirit is coming down? And have you ever seen that? Because this is how Quran is describing this night to me. Because he said, what do you know about that night? As if saying that, let me tell you what it is. You don't know what it is. Forget about all the things you know about it. Let me tell you what it is. And says, angels and the spirit comes down at this night. What does that mean? What shall I do with that knowledge? Like, for example, it was 2015? Pope came to Philadelphia. Christians were excited. Even not the Catholics, Protestants even went there to see him pass it by, right? Out of curiosity, I guess. But they said Philadelphia is going to be too crowded. So I left the city that day, said that, okay, I have nothing to do with the Pope. I don't care about him. So, okay, Pope is coming, an important personality, a celebrity and whatnot, but I don't care about it. Seeing the guy, who cares? Angels and the spirit is coming down at that night. What does this mean? And it's not even, you can see them. Like he says, angels come down, but I cannot see them. If I were able to see, I will go to art museum or somewhere and see them. What is the point of making me aware of angels and spirit coming down? What am I going to do with this knowledge? Shall we keep it for next week?
Yeah.
The only thing that comes to my mind is like, it makes me think that it's like a different night than other nights. There's a significance to it than other nights.
Okay.
Specific. I don't know, blessed, like it's a blessed night or something. I don't know.
Okay.
Similar way, like they say, okay, this Satan's are chained.
Right.
Yeah.
What do you think? How can we benefit from that night? We now know that angels are there. What would you do?
He was
Like if I say, oh, this time of the day, birds are going to be going from north to south, and they're valuable birds. Well, I will set some cage or something to catch them. Now angels are coming. Shall we set like angel cages or what?
Angel trap.
Angel traps.
But it also says by permission of their Lord, so maybe the purpose is to highlight that everything in this night is also, maybe the permission of their Lord is also most important.
Okay, that's a good point. What does it mean that they come with the permission of their Lord?
And Allah has decreed it, and is in control and is creating a magnificent event. So he can create magnificent events in your life too. Okay?
It is, but why is it magnificent?
Because there's angels.
What are they? Like last night, we were walking by the river, Schuylkill River, and some person was just throwing what's it, fireworks. Looks magnificent, nice, because it's entertaining. What does it mean that angels are coming? Like, you know who Pope is. He is an important personality or a knowledgeable person of Christianity and whatnot. Who is an angel? And what does it mean that angel is coming down? Like from up? Because in the previous verse, it was saying that revelation was, we sent it down. And now saying that we are sending down or angels descend. Again, they come from high downwards. Yes.
I'm just thinking about what Brother your son mentioned earlier about how everything in our lives, from like a cloud to our socks, like carries some sort of meaning or it symbolizes something like further than just, oh, this is an article of clothing that I'm wearing. And so perhaps maybe the role of like the angels descending is to like sort of carry that meaning down to us and help us see something beyond sort of the things themselves, like their physical like existence. So we might walk by and notice the cloud, and then just be on our way, like it's a nice cloud, but whatever. But rather maybe we could approach it instead as it's a sign for perhaps rain, which is a mercy that like this water is descending and giving, it's being made to like nourish like the earth and by extension all of us and all living things. So maybe taking it something like that.
This is how, when we were discussing Surah An-Najm, we talked about the angels in there. This was before Abasa. So angels are, like, when I look at Ahmed, I see flesh and bones. But when I say Ahmed, I do not really mean flesh and bones. I mean the personality here. Like there's this, he has a spirit, this, which is manifesting with his motions, but his body is just the means with which the spirit is interacting with the outside world. Because Ahmed will die, his body will still be there. But what will I say is his spirit gets detached from his body. So even after he dies, his body is going to rot, but still I will talk about Ahmed. And I wouldn't be referring to Ahmed's body back then either. So, but when it comes to that personality type that I'm having issues with, what does it mean? What is its spirit? What is its meaning, purpose? What does it have to tell me about my maker? What is its message? So Ahmed's spirit in this case is the thing that I interact with here. So when it comes to this personality type, how do I interact with this thing itself? I'm not talking about the person. I'm talking about the fact that I am struggling with this hardship. Or sometimes as sad news comes, daughter is sick. How do I interact with this? What does this tell me? Yes, I mean, the example with clouds or the socks, these are, it should be generalizable to everything, but let's look at bigger chunks in our lives, super events that you are super happy with, or the events that you are super sad with. What do they tell you? What is the purpose of them being there? The measurer, the one who creates them with measure, what does he tell you with this event? So a message comes with a messenger. So angels are the messenger. So messengers are explaining you, saying, as if saying that open yourself to the message of this dark event that you're going through in your life. Open yourself to the message of this success that comes in your life. It doesn't mean that you are too smart. It means that somebody is providing you with the success. This is the message that comes with it. So the angels, being able to start hearing angels, being able to start seeing angels means being able to hear these messages behind the regular events in life. This is how we are starting to become open to those messages. Otherwise, if somebody comes here and has no knowledge whatsoever what humanity means, and comes and starts treating Ahmed as a robot or as a corpse, you would say that you don't believe in ruh, you don't believe in spirits. Like this guy has a spirit. This guy has something beyond this material existence. Likewise, death happens, sickness happens. If I simply take sickness or death as material thing, no, it has a spirit in there. What is the spirit or the message of a disease? What does it tell you? Generally, we are being enemies of disease, right? Because I take it as simply an obstacle on my path, as if just like a material thing that's happening to me. But have a conversation with that disease. What do you have to tell me from my creator? Because this disease is coming down from my creator. It's not happening because of a virus. If I take it as it is coming from a virus, I take it, it's not coming from high in this case. A virus in there at the same level as me is coming to me and attacking me. It's an enemy. But if I take it as, oh no, this virus comes to me from my creator. It is being sent down. And there is an angel here. There's a message here that comes to me. This is how revelation starts coming to us. You can extrapolate this, right? Same thing applies to Quran too. If I feel like, no, I can figure out the meaning and the message behind the world itself. Yeah, it happened billions of years of chance and this and that. I close my doors to revelation. If I say that, no, this existence doesn't explain itself, there has to be something, then Jibreel, the spirit, Ruh, brings message from my creator. Quran is the spirit of, is the meaning of this whole existence and comes to you with revelation, with an angel. The example you gave, socks, clouds, right? We are looking for a meaning in them. Quran is the meaning of this whole existence. If I am concerned about saying that, well, like Ahmed cannot be consisting of a body only, there has to be something beyond this. This whole existence cannot be consisting of simple material, particles, and that's it. No, the whole existence is being sent down every moment by moment. It's being created with all the events that we go through in life. It's a whole message. Am I open to it as a message? Do I listen to it as a message? So, تَنَزَّلُ الْمَلَائِكَةُ وَالرُّوحُ فِيهَا بِإِذْنِ رَبِّهِمْ. And in here then, بِإِذْنِ رَبِّهِمْ, with the permission of their Lord, saying that these are not haphazard things that are happening. They are not random things that are happening. They are measured things that are happening with the command of their Lord. The things that you're going through in your life, good or bad, is a message from your Lord. They don't come by themselves. They are being sent down. So look at your life events as such. At Penn, at Drexel, many smart people. In there, and you will see that after life, or people who were very smart and having very high expectation for their future, they get tired, they get slow, barely finish their program, and then after getting a computer science degree, get into construction business. Oh, we were expecting you to be like, this is how life is, right? Things are just you find yourself somewhere in that trajectory. What does this tell me? Am I just going to take it as, oh, I'm too tired? Or am I going to take it as, no, this is a revelation from my creator. Let me hear it. If I don't hear it, if I don't listen to it, I don't hear anything. But if I realize that it's a night, and then the revelation comes. Okay. Salamun hiya hatta matla'il fajr. So min kulli amr. So it is coming from every decree. So min kulli amr is important in this case because min kulli amr means, as Birkan and Zareen was saying, including your socks, including the clouds, including anything. So angels comes to you through everything. All the events in life, seek for an angel in there. You are eating a food, there's a message in there, in this food. Like if your mom cooked it, a beautiful food means what? I love you, right? She cared about you. How about your creator? You're able to breathe air. There's a message in here in this air. Somebody is saying that I care about you. I know that you need this and I bring it to you. So there's an angel min kulli amr in all the things that I am encountering, which means in everything that I encounter in this life, there's a message for me and there's an angel in there. So angels are everywhere. But if I'm cognizant of them, it's a magnificent event, yes, because the creation is a magnificent event. Creation is a speech of the creator constantly talking to me. But if I pay attention to it, I can choose to live this life as if things are happening randomly. At the beginning, as Zareen was saying, God consciousness. I might choose to be self-conscious and totally ignorant of the creator, not conscious of the creator at all. Alternatively, every single aspect, kulle amr, anything that is a job that's being done in this life, is an angel bringing something to me. Salamun hiya hatta matla'il fajr. So peace. Once I reach such a realization, the good will be good for me, the bad will be good for me. Everything is going to be a source of peace for me. Because disease is a messenger from my creator. Success is a messenger from my creator. It's going to give me this peace. Because now I will know that there's no enemy to me in this existence. Everything is coming from my creator.
So how do you decipher the message? Because now I'm more confused. Well, I'm not more confused, but.
So this is how it is, right? He says, I will explain you what it is. Open yourself, how to decipher those messages. Now you're concerned. Now you're admitting your darkness, right? Now you're saying that, oh, how am I going to decipher those messages? What does it mean that this personality type is always, right? Recognize my neediness and then say, oh, my Lord, I don't know how to decipher it myself. And you are the guide. This is when revelation will start talking to me. Otherwise, I would say, oh, I know they're the arrogant type of people. Now I have an answer, right? The creator said, how do you know what Laylatul Qadr? You should not be knowing so that I will talk to you. But if I say, no, I know it. Oh, it's all about their ego. Why? So there's some psychiatric conditions, and give it a name and continue my way. Says, no, you do not know. If I admit that I do not know and turn my face towards the creator saying that you tell me what it means, then I'm open to guidance. Then I will be hearing. Otherwise, I wouldn't be. So now in this sense, it's really building up nicely for the past two chapters. Surah An-Najm was comparing prophetic path versus philosophic path. Abasa was looking for how a person who says, I'm self-sufficient, I'm not in need of message. And the blind person in there was open to message. And now we are coming to Laylatul Qadr and saying that, are you now ready to receive the message? Are you admitting the darkness in your life so that you will face this moment in your life which you would say, oh, this moment, this realization was worth living a life? Prepare for that moment. And now if we put it into context of how Prophet ﷺ mentioned Laylatul Qadr, seek for it. Seek for it in Ramadan, because as Quran says, Ramadan is the month of fasting. No, Quran doesn't say that. Ramadan is the month of Quran. Ramadan is there. We are fasting so that we benefit from Quran. And Quran is what? Hudan lil muttaqin. It's a guidance for the God conscious. So it looks like everything now boils down to that. The Creator says, I would like you to be cognizant, awake, wake up. How do I wake up? Prepare for it physically as well. Do not eat. Wake up at night. So prepare, admit your faults, realize your neediness, then you will realize the power. Then you will realize the measure. Then you will start seeing the angels descending. So in this case, angels are not simply super Pokemons that I do not know what they look like. No, angels are part of my everyday life now. Actually, I have seen angels. I have talked to angels, you would say. Whenever you recognize some meaning, some message somewhere, you would say that, oh, this is a message from my Creator. Because initially you would say that, oh, it's a car accident, how bad it is. But now that you realize seeing some meaning behind it, oh, then that means you start talking to the angel in there. You started listening to the angel. So Laylatul Qadr is when those angels keep coming and coming to you. So look for that night. Yes.
Just reiterating what you said about for the question. I think it's really important because we usually take it as like whenever we talk about the meaning, the message, and the creation, and so on. We take it as it is my duty to read this message and extract this meaning. And I don't know how to do it, so it sounds too difficult. It sounds something that I cannot do, or everybody making up some other meanings and so on. So what is the point there? I think before going there, so it's not your duty, first of all. Like your duty is not get the revelation. It will be sent down to you. Okay? You are not getting to revelation. You are not extracting a meaning. You are just receiving it. That's one thing. The hard part is just accepting that you need receive. Yes. You had a fight, let's say, with your friend, and you go to your empathic friend thereafter, and you start talking about it. What would you talk about? You would talk about the fight, the other person, how she treated you this way or that way. What would be the reasons? Some other stuff about that person, like your actions. Oh, you shouldn't have done it this way. If you said, that after she said that, and so on, so that would be the conversation. There is no place like what you are doing now to you is extracting meaning yourself. You say, yeah, there's a puzzle in front of me, and I will solve it, you say. And you ask for help from your friend. You solve it together. You don't need any revelation. You don't, even if somebody therein comes and tells you, wait a second, that's great, you're trying to solve the puzzle, but have you considered that it happened to you, not somebody else? And it was created by your Creator. So there must be something for you, a message for you, and so on. What would be your reaction? Of course, being Muslim and so on, you wouldn't say, what are you talking about? Doesn't make sense. You wouldn't say that. You would say, oh, yeah, Zarin, you are right. And then turn back to the and continue talking about the previous things.
Gossiping about
gossiping about your friend and yourself. Right? Because you don't even accept that there's a need for revelation. You cannot make sense of it.
Can we have both finding meaning in like and also
You will always make up some names.
right?
Like with your, I apologize, that was the first person in the story. With directly, you will make up some names and call them as meanings.
Right.
You will say that, okay, from a psychological perspective, these and
See,
that.
that's what gets me. 'Cause I was like,
That's the made up part. That's the made up part. You can use them as symbols
Right.
to learn or to receive the real meaning,
Yes.
but otherwise they are just made up names. They don't mean anything. And how do you know that? think about the moment that you die. Do they mean anything at all? Like realizing, recognize that, remembering that you can die any moment.
Yeah.
Any meaning that you extracted with the art, do they mean anything at all? Do you care your
Depends
friend,
though, if they improve my interactions with my friend,
and she will die as well?
but yeah, but then we like treat each other better, and then that means that we're being better people, which means that we're being better Muslims.
Are you that we just like it's like you playing a Monopoly, you know the game Monopoly?
Sort of,
Like the
yeah.
board game doesn't matter.
Yeah,
Does it really mean anything that you become really better in it?
Really rich in it.
yeah.
At the end of the game,
Yeah, but we
Papers
don't
are
know
collected.
the rules. I know how to deal with other players.
Yeah.
We become better players together. We have fun and so on. It's game. So the worldly life, how the Quran describes,
Right.
it's nothing but a game. So you are getting lost in the game and losing the actual game. What it symbolizes. Sorry. Oh.
okay, Jazakumullah khairan. So, and by that, it's going to end with a down. So this piece is going to continue until sunrise, and cycle continues. If you start getting revelation, another thing will happen next year. But alhamdulillah, at least you started receiving revelation. So once you get into this cycle, you are going to be okay with the next disease, next success, or next failure. Because now you are accustomed to receiving revelation from the Creator. And you can read that. So Laylatul Qadr can happen. Actually, some saints sought for Laylatul Qadr throughout the year, not only within Ramadan or last 10 nights. They said Laylatul Qadr is to be sought in every moment of life because of this explanation. سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم وآخر دعواهم أن الحمد لله رب العالمين الفاتحة